How far would you go for a good time? Hello everyone and welcome to Movie Reviews by Josh. My name is Josh Terry and today I'm going to tell you about Flatliners, which is kind of a horror movie and kind of a sci-fi movie and most definitely a remake that probably didn't need to happen. So if you're familiar with the original Flatliners from back in 1990, it's the one with Kiefer Sutherland and Julia Roberts and all those other exciting young people from that day and age. And they're med students and they're up and coming and they're exciting and they're experimenting with death. And that's kind of what's going on with this one. But this time we've got Juno and we've got one of the rebels from Rogue One and we've got this girl from a movie called The Final Girl, which was pretty good. There's somebody from Only Living Boy in New York. She was the annoying millennial. So these medical students come together and they start experimenting with near-death experiences. Basically, Juno gets the idea because she's kind of torn up because she was in a car accident years earlier that her little sister died in. And so she's obsessed with death and she's obsessed with near-death experiences. And so she comes up with this plan where they're basically going to stop her heart for a couple minutes and they're going to use this scanner to kind of monitor her brain activity. And then they're going to use their superior medical student skills to bring her back to life using paddles and injections and other stuff that, you know, I don't know about because I never went to med school. That's the main idea. And of course, once she does it the first time, she comes back and she has all this sudden, you know, this new skill and talent and recall. And so what starts out as a scientific experiment suddenly becomes kind of the new addictive rush. It's like, oh, everybody's got to try this because this is like the ultimate high, right? Unfortunately, they start bringing back ghosts that haunt them and start stalking their lives and all this kind of thing. And so that's kind of where the horror thing comes in. So if you've seen the original Flatliners, the same type of deal. You know, if this wasn't a remake, it would just be kind of a decent idea that didn't really have a lot of follow through. Kind of falls flat, doesn't really seem to have a whole lot to say. It's just kind of a good looking cast. The problem is that it's a remake. And so you go into this movie saying, okay, why does this exist? What are you bringing to the table that you didn't 27 years ago? And the answer is nothing. There's really nothing new here. It's not that great a movie. Most of the time, you kind of figure, oh, well, you know, I guess the special effects are going to be updated. You know, this really isn't a special effects movie. There's no twist as far as, okay, well, now we're going to make the cast all women, right? Like Ghostbusters. It's not, okay, well, it was an animated feature and now we're going to do it live action, like Beauty and the Beast. There's nothing like that. There's just, the only thing is that, well, let's put some new people in the roles and maybe people will go buy tickets to it and we'll make some money. And that's kind of the cynical way to put it, but unfortunately, the new Flatliners doesn't give you any other reason to rationalize its existence. And so because of that, a decent movie is knocked down to, what's the point? And so for that reason, I'd give this one 1.5 stars out of 4. Flatliners is rated PG-13. There's a little more sexual content than you would think, not necessarily nudity, but one of the characters is kind of a like aggressive ladies' man, I guess is one way to put it. Yeah, there's a little bit of language and a little bit of violence, and it's kind of mildly spooky in a couple places. So it's, you know, it's kind of your PG-13 movie. It strikes me as the kind of movie that when you're determined to stay up all night and you find it on cable at 1 a.m., you'll watch it and it's watchable, but you know it's not really that great. And better to watch it that way than to spend $10 and do that instead. So who's the better hero, Juno or Julia Roberts? Ellen Page is her name, by the way. I should probably acknowledge that. Nina Dobrev was the one who was in The Final Girl. And Diego Luna was the guy from Rogue One. See? I'm doing my homework. I only pretend like I'm mailing it in. I'm really working hard for you guys. So give me those subscriptions and keep your notifications on so you can see our new videos as soon as they are available. And check out our friends at Rockagator, because if you make them happy, they'll make me happy.